have to be selective, which is why I'm going to put this in. This is just a piece of card with our names and addresses so that people will know who we were and where we came from. There we are. What are you going to put in then, Sue?
Well, I was going to put a party dress in, but
Yes.
it'll get terribly creased by the time 100 years has passed.
Oh.
So I'll just settle for a hair ribbon.
A hair ribbon? Is
Yeah.
that all? OK, what about you, Sweet? What are you going to put in? A picture of a... Let's go and bury it, shall we? I'll get my jacket. Come on. Come on. Right, this looks like the ideal place to me.
But why in the middle of a field, Matthew? Who's going to find it here?
Ah, I've been thinking about this, Sue.
Yes?
You see, in 100 years from now, this probably won't be a field with grass. It'll probably be covered in houses.
Oh.
Now, when the diggers arrive to dig up the foundations, what are they going to find?
The time capsule.
Exactly right. That's why we're going to bury it here. So this is going to be one giant blow for the future. All right, I didn't know the ground was going to be rock hard. I'd like to see any of you lot doing any better. I'll never play the violin again.
Wizzy, let's get busy.
The magic spell. Well, I'm quite impressed, Sooty, but the problem is there's still no hole. Oh! There is a hole! Hey, that's great! Let's get the time capsule in there. And somebody will find it in 100 years' time. All we have to do now is cover it up with the soil. What soil? Well, the soil that came out of the hole. The soil that... Oh, no. There's no soil. It's a magic hole. Look, it'll be discovered in 100 minutes, not 100 years, if we don't cover it up. We'd better take it and bury it somewhere else. The problem is, where?
Oh, that's an excellent idea, Sooty. Matthew?
Yes?
Matthew.
What?
I think we've cracked it. You see, it's all terribly simple.
Yes.
We get back in the van,
Yes.
and you drive,
Yes.
and we go off to the water's edge.
Perfect. Ideal.
So, what do you think of the plan, Matthew?
It's a winner, Sue, a winner.
Goody.
Look, bring the time capsule over there and we'll carry the plan out. Come on. Right, where are you three?
Here we are.
Oh, and the time capsule. Thank you very much, Sooty. Now listen, in 100 years from now, this lake will have totally dried up. Somebody will come along and discover the time capsule. So all I have to do is heave-ho this thing into the middle of the lake. After 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ah!
Well done.
Foolproof, this. Absolutely foolproof. What's that? What did he say? He said, do not throw time capsules in this lake by order. Well, so much for that plan. Come on, let's go. So just run through your plan once more for me, Sue.
Well, you drive past that open manhole just up there.
Yes.
And as we pass it, you throw the box into it. The workman will then put the cover on and bingo!
It's a great plan. It's great. It'll be absolutely ages till anybody finds it. Right, let's do it.
Well done, Matthew. That's a bullseye.
I'll tell you another thing, Sue. The amount of time it takes to do drain repairs, it'll be 200 years before anybody finds that thing. What did he say? I don't know. Excuse me, what did you say?
I said,
Oh, no.
It's back to the drawing board. Right, I've done it. The ground was nice and soft, and I've filled it in. There were no silly signs telling me not to do it, so we've cracked it. Actually, no, it really is quite remarkable. This whole time capsule idea has been a very good one. You know something? In 100 years from now, we could all be famous. It's actually true that, you know. I don't think anybody's going to find that sweep in the next 100 years or so. I'll tell you what, I'd love to be around to see the face of the person who eventually discovers our time capsule.
Excuse me.
Oh.
Are you Matthew Corbett?
Yes, I am, actually. Do you want an autograph?
No, I'd like to return this box to you.
How did you know it was our box?
It had your names inside. I'd like to keep this ribbon for my sister's hair. And I'd like to keep this picture of the kitten for my wall because I like kittens. Oh, I fed the bread to the birds.
So we've got the box back.
And at least there's no sign of that funny frogman.
Ahoy!
Coming, Daddy!
Wretched artifacts! Wretched time capsule! Our time capsule was an absolute failure, wasn't it? Now we'll never be able to tell the people of the future what it was like living in the 1980s. You'll tell them. Sooty, I am talking about 100 years from now. That's true, actually, yes. I'd never thought about that. You're absolutely right, Sooty.
What on earth are you two on about?
Sue, we can forget all about time capsules and artifacts. Why?
Yes.
Because you three can tell the people of the future exactly what it was like. You see, as Sooty's just pointed out quite rightly, you aren't like human beings. Thank goodness.
And there's the River Tom. Jiggle on the tum. Oh yeah, tickle on the tum. Oh, what are you doing, Jackie?
I'm choosing a birthday card for my cousin Katie.
Oh, would you like me to help you choose a present for her?
Now, I've decided to give her a pet, and Bunny Brown's going to pick one out for
I thought it might be a reject.
Oh, horse in a little. Isn't he terrible? He is. Well, Bunny, what is it? You'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, it can't be less trouble than most of the pets in my shop. Did I tell you what happened last week? No. Well, don't worry. Ralph, shh, listen to Bunny. I had just finished dusting the tortoise when Miss Marker came round after school. She flopped miserably into a chair. I've got a school inspector coming tomorrow, she explained. He comes every year to see if I'm teaching the children properly, and he's very strict. I want to do something special, and I can't think of anything. Why don't you let me bring you some of the pets round? I suggested. Then you'll have something really interesting for the... Oh, grim, that you'd think that he'd just swallowed a mouthful of vinegar. I decided that the only way to cheer old Misery Face up was to get him to help me with the fish tank. Well, everything was going very nicely, with all the fish swimming round looking very pretty, when suddenly they all filled their mouths with water and blew it out. The inspector was soaked. As he wrung out his tie and mopped his hair with his hanky, he trod on Sid the snake. With a little smile, Sid quickly slithered up his trouser leg and into his jacket sleeve. "Help! I'm being eaten alive!" cried the inspector. "What a silly Billy! What a wally! Sausages and knickers!" sang out Filbert. The children roared with laughter, and Miss Marker and I held our breath. But suddenly, the inspector started to laugh and laugh. Sid was tickling him, and he just giggled and chuckled until tears ran down his face. Oh, I'm so sorry, flustered Miss Marker. Dreadfully sorry, I joined in, pulling Sid out of his sleeve and wrapping him round my arm. Oh, quite all right, said the inspector. This has really cheered me up. Lessons are usually so boring, and I get really fed up sitting at the back. With that, he beamed at Miss Marker and started to enjoy the children's work. We were just starting to relax when we saw my huge white rabbit sitting in the inspector's hat and chewing up the brim. It looked as if it had been through the mincer. Oh, not to worry, he said cheerfully. I didn't like it. Gold star, and didn't even notice that Bones the puppy had eaten his report card. Oh, phew, my very naughty pets.
Now, Bunny, are you sure that this pet won't misbehave?
I'm positive. Do you want to see him?
Oh, I can't wait.
Well, say hello to Di, then.
A fly?
Yes, he's a very well-behaved fly. Come back to the box, Fly the Di.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yes, well, I trained him myself. You see, he's very intelligent, you know. Di, would you like to hear a joke? Oh, that means yes. Ralph, will you bring the tickle mail, please?
Yes.
I just can't believe what I'm hearing.
No, I'm
Fancy
sure
having a fly called Di.
This
I
is
can't
brilliant.
believe that. That's
Oh,
great.
now who's that for? There we are.
All right.
Oh, there's mine.
Who's got the
yours.
first joke today?
Bunny.
Oh, I think it's me. Oh, it's from Claire Holland in St Helens, Merseyside. Why did the boy throw the clock out of the window?
I don't know. Why did the boy throw the clock out of the window?
He wanted to see time fly.
Time flies.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Di liked that,
like
didn't
that
he? See if he likes this one. This is from Adrian Young from Chadderton near Oldham. Where do ghosts go shopping?
I don't know. Where do ghosts go shopping?
To the spooker market. Get it? He liked that as well. What a great fly.
Oh, look, Bunny, I want to show
Great
you
sense
because
of
we've got
humour.
this great picture and it's been sent in by Emily, Lee, Rebecca, Bernadette and Carly of Heathmere School in Roehampton. There's Bunny in her pet shop. There's Filbert the parrot and Wilf the dog. And there's two little kittens. And up there's a canary. And there's the fish tank. And there's Nuts the monkey.
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
great picture. Nuts is eating a banana.
Certainly is.
Now, who's got the next joke?
I've got one here. This one's from Bradley Lamb. He's 5 and he's from Open School, Chorlton, Manchester.
But the parrot's trying to teach him.
Filbert, oh, you want to watch him? He's a very rude bird.
Yes, that's true, yes.
In Bunny Brown's pet shop, there's a parrot. He's a very rude bird, and he couldn't give a carrot what any grand, and nobody's safe from him. All the things he says when you walk in. Hello, spotty face.
Have the banana.
Oh, what a whopper.
Hello, Grandma.
Knickers,
Knickers,
needle neither knew, and I've seen a monkey just like you. I've seen a monkey just like you.
Oh, that Filbert, I don't know where he gets it from. Well, I must get back to the shop now. You'll tell your niece Kate to look after Di, won't you?
Oh, I will. And thank you very much indeed,
Oh,
Bunny.
that's a pleasure. Bye.
Bye.
Do you know, Katie's going to be delighted with Di.
Do you really think so?
Oh, yes. Hello, Di. Do you know, I think he's looking a bit sad. You don't suppose he's missing Bunny already?
No, let's try and cheer him up. We've got a joke here.
A joke, yes.
Yes,
Tell
there's
him a
one
joke.
here. This is from Danielle Davis from Sunnybank Primary School, Bury. Now listen, Di.
Listen.
Did you hear about the man who couldn't tell the difference between toothpaste and putty?
He's shaking his head, he didn't.
He didn't. Well, all his windows fell out. Nothing, not even a smile.
Wait a minute, he's thinking about it.
Right. Oh, he likes it. I think he's got it.
Well, he's
Right,
really
George?
laughing.
I think he's got it. I hope he's got it. Tickle on the tongue. Tickle on the what? on, there's Tiggletown. And there's the River Ton. Tiggle on the ton. Oh yeah, tickle on the ton.
For those today who long for steam, they should try and remember the tunnels when smoke became a sorry substitute for nice fresh air. After Yeovil, in the old days, would come branch line country on the southern, with many connections leading to the sea, practically all of which have gone today. So far as the steam excursion was concerned, Yeovil was now the end of the line, causing yet another change of trains. Only this time, for Barry Smith trying to find the past, it was back to diesel and modern times. But at least there was a line and a train of sorts to carry him on his nostalgic voyage. For the young Barry, Yeovil and Dorset with Devon still to come was simply more excitement.
I think we're very fortunate actually to be travelling on this line because if one looks at the beaching proposals and on the maps, there's going to be nothing west of Salisbury. There's a regular service, of course, from Waterloo to Exeter. But it's a shame, really, because we've got so much single track here now. Beaching had to come about, there's no doubt about it. If it wasn't beaching, it would have been somebody else. It was a shame for the enthusiasts, of course, because we lost out. All these lovely branch lines all went. But coming to reality, which I think one has to do, it had to come about.
And what came about was the closing of branch lines as to Lyme Regis from Axminster. But of course the closing of each branch meant its connecting junction was that much less busy. So no longer do trains puff up and down from Lyme Regis as they used to do.
You've got the Lyme Regis branch, which in fact is frequently worked by just one coach and an engine. So you've got straight away a staff of 3. And then, of course, you have the stations which were fully staffed with station master and ticket collector and porter. And, of course, there was signalmen all the way down the line. The track itself was maintained virtually to mainline standards in excellent condition. And looking all round, it was quite tremendous, the amount of staff that they had on these lines. So really, it was no wonder that they went to the wall, because it's only in the summer, because a branch like the Lyme Regis branch fully worked.
At Axminster, it's no longer all change for Lyme Regis. It's just get off if you want Axminster, and the car you left in its car park, and the town, and of course the carpet factory, or a bit more travelling. Fenniton used to be Sidmouth Junction before they cut off the line to Ottery.
Last century, and I had an uncle who was signalman here, not my father, but then I took on in the 1950s. When I joined, I counted up a total of about 16 altogether. Station master, 3 signalmen, 2 booking clerks, 2 shunters, a couple of crossing keepers, and 4 of us on the platform. Not all on at once, of course. People would come in from all the villages, 3 or 4 miles around, to get trains away, and it was very much a railhead, so it was really lively then. On a summer Saturday, you would probably have a train going through about every quarter of an hour, some of them stopping, some not. And of those that stopped, you had connections to the branch line to Sidmouth and Exmouth, quite busy generally. Well, now, of course, it's a very scaled-down sort of operation. We get about half the trains that go through stopping here. We cater for a steady trickle of passengers, not a flood these days.
First stop on the branch line was the station, now gone, for the market town of Ottery St Mary. Well, Ottery still lives, but not its old railway line leading either to Sidmouth or Budleigh Salterton.
The closures had to come sometime because there was so much opposition from the bus services, and there was a very good bus service between Ottery and Exeter and on the Axminster, that it was a foregone conclusion. And with the goods traffic gone from the station, I mean, that was you understand, that was took up by the road transport system, which was cheaper, more economical, and the trains seemed to get so far behind with their service that it was foregone. There was a lot of controversy and a lot of sympathy for the railway, but and the council, I was on the town council, urban council at that time, and there was a lot of talk, and in fact there was meetings held with the railways and the bus services to say how many buses was going to connect up with the railways, and you'd have a marvellous service to Ottery St Mary and such like, but never came about. I mean, these promises was never carried out.
So what about those branches? Jeff Vinter of the Railway Ramblers.
Unfortunately, because the railways were in a very difficult financial circumstance when these closures took place, the lines were sold off, sometimes for very small sums of money, without any view to their reuse whatsoever. So nowadays, the land is in a very fragmented state. If 25 years ago we had had a coordinated policy for the reuse of these abandoned railway lines, we could have ended up with a fabulous network of green lanes suitable for cyclists, walkers, interconnecting all over the country. You would have been in a position where, for example, you might have travelled to somewhere like Barnstaple, walked out to Ilfracombe or Bideford, Torrington. Walking down old railway lines is like passing through a gateway into a lost way of life, into a past world when lives were regulated not so much by getting things done as fast as possible, but by the measured coming and going of the branch line train. You find yourself in cuttings hewn out by sweat and toil with pick and axe, which have now become private nature reserves, unknown to all but the few people like us who pass through them. Walking down an old railway line isn't just a matter of striding out with 6 or 7 friends and hoping for the best. You've got to get involved in finding out who owns the land, tracking them down, getting permission, and all the rest of it. So it's quite a major undertaking. It can involve a lot of letter writing, or perhaps travelling around actually knocking on doors. In itself, that's quite interesting. It becomes extremely so if you should knock on the door of an old station and discover, for example, that the former station master still lives there.
For the young Barry Smith, unaware that a Dr. Beeching and hard times for the railways were both looming, the impending arrival of Exeter held an excitement which had nothing to do with its cathedral, but everything to do with the majesty of its loco shed.
Oh, Exmouth Junction. Now that really was a shed. I loved Nine Elms and of course Salisbury, but Exmouth Junction had a ring about it, I think, Exmouth Junction, because you could see the whole yard as you went by on the train, and of course trains were beginning to slow down then because you were getting close to Exeter. You didn't roar past at 60 or 70 miles an hour and see nothing, and there were lines of engines, there was everything. So it was a lovely place, gorgeous building.
It was at Exeter that the two competing railway lines, the one from Waterloo and the other one from Paddington, met and still do meet. And on Barry Smith's journey, Exeter Central was the place for finding yet another train.
Of course, here at Exeter Central, I changed trains here to get the branch line down to Exmouth in this bay here, which I don't think is used anymore now for the branch line trains. But the great thing, of course, about this branch is that it still survives. It's the only surviving branch off the main line now from Waterloo to Exeter. All the others have gone. Well, after this station, of course, it'll be the end of the line, Exmouth. I don't know what I'm going to find there. There's a station there, but what sort of station, I just can't imagine. We'll soon find out anyway. It doesn't take all that long to go down the line.
Well, the River Exe may still be there, but the old M7 tank engines have long since vanished from this lovely piece of line.
Exmouth station was a lovely little station. I honestly can't remember the full details of it, but it seemed, if I remember, there was about 3 platforms, and of course it had an engine shed, which is always an attraction in itself. It was a very small one-road engine shed which housed the loco off the branch. It always seemed a very busy station. I think there must have been freight because there were goods yards there, so there was obviously a freight service in there bringing coal and such like. It was a lovely little station. I just hope that it hasn't been altered too much. Well, here we are, journey's end, Exmouth, sunny Exmouth. But what a lot of changes. Engine shed's gone, the yard's gone, the station's gone, lovely station, gone. When I came here, it was never like this, for a start, pouring with rain. I don't think it was. It was always sunny, glorious Devon. I mean, this was the adverts in those days. It was gorgeous.
Apart from its wonderful stretch of coastline, golden beaches and clear blue seas, Exmouth has a lovely river.
I would call it a disaster, quite honestly. I mean, I'm absolutely appalled at what they've done to this station. No, it's not I don't think it's a good experience at all, quite honestly. I don't think I'd recommend this to anybody to come back. I think I prefer to remember it as I did 40 years ago, with the smell of steam and as it was.
As we take our last look at Exmouth and remember our journey through the Raleigh country, pride mingles with regret at having to leave it all too soon.
How far is not enough, said Pig, if you wish to see me prance. For myself, I don't care a fig, if jigs I never dance. Oh, with jigs I never dance. You really are pig-headed, Pig, the woman shrilly cried. You won't dance, then by my wig, I'll beat your piggy hide. I'll beat your piggy hide. Oh, beating never three pigs fly. 8 rhymes is all I ask. To make me dance, well, it's worth a try. Not such a daunting task. No, it's not such a daunting task. Oh, well, I've already thought of big, dig, and wig, and twig. I just need 4 more. A swig. A glutton for punishment, that pig. Do you ever dance a jig? Well, next time before you do, try to think of 5 words that sound like jig or pig. Well, that's my lot. I'm off. Chock-a-bloke, checking out.
away.
And it seems as though the answer's water.
What's inside? What's inside?
What's inside?
Get back on. Gone already.
There. What's inside today? Plenty of water. Ideal for sailing your boats. And you can make your boats out of any old plastic container, or you can use something flat for a raft. Put it in your sink or your bath and sail away. But get someone to help you with the taps, won't you? Come on. It's a storm brewing. Arr.
Yeah, waves are up high.
Waves are going high. Woo. Yes. Oh, there's more water over here. And something rather special is floating on it. Do you know what it is? Is it a duck? No, it's not. It's a drake. And his name's Francis. Thank you, Elizabeth. Francis floating around. Is he like the bread, then?
Yeah.
Yeah, Francis? What else likes water? Do you know any other creatures that like water?
Fish, frogs. Pond skaters, which like skating on the top.
Pond skaters, never heard of those. What else can you think of?
Water beetles.
Water beetle. And ducks, of course. And drakes. All creatures like water, though. Well, they need water to survive. And people in very hot countries, they really look forward to the rains because it brings water for their rivers, for their plants, and for them to drink. And they don't even mind if it's raining when they're on holiday. Now, Grandpa, Armo and Mira are on holiday, and Grandpa's written from India to tell Geeta and Alice all about it.
What's inside? A letter. Written by Grandpa. Posted by Emma. Flown to England. For Geeta and Alice. And what's inside? A letter from Grandpa.
Dear Geeta and Alice, Uncle Ram, Auntie Sita, Amar, Meera and I have just been on holiday. We were high in a hill station, surrounded on all sides by even higher hills. From our bungalow, the compound slopes gently down to the edge of a ravine. Early one morning, even before the monkeys had started to play, your cousin Amar slipped out of the house and sat at the forbidden edge of the ravine to watch the silent white clouds floating beneath him like gentle whales. Suddenly, a rustle in the bushes, something much larger than a lizard, a leopard maybe? Amar crouched low behind the bougainvillea. Out of the bushes popped one furry shape and then another and another. It was a family of lynx cubs. Then their mother appeared, nose sharp, ears twitching. She sniffed the wind and hurried her playful children along. Amar stalked them like a true shikari, round the dusty pathway and steeply down the bed of a dried-up stream. He grinned to himself as he watched the cubs struggling and sliding over the huge black boulders. But the distant sounds of water being filled warned him that the house was waking. He turned back, and then he saw it. Hidden from the house above by a bend in the ravine, but now clearly visible through a gap between the trees, was the largest, finest, most exquisite waterfall. It dropped hundreds of feet between the two large rocks into a deep green pool in the ravine below. Amar could hardly contain his excitement as he told of his discovery. His sister teased him. "If you keep on jumping like that," she said, "and the wind turns, you'll get stuck like a horrible old monkey." His mother continued to clean the rice, letting handfuls pour into the tray so that the husks could blow away. Amar shouted, "It's just like that. It falls like rice."
And when the wind gets strong, said a deep voice from behind him, it seems as if it would almost blow away. Amar's eyes brightened. Baba, he said, you know my waterfall. His father looked at his wife. She was smiling. Your father knows it well, she said. You'll need to take some towels if you go. It was a long walk in the hot sun. The black road quivered through the heat waves. Brightly painted lorries thundered by, horns blaring. Amar and his father turned off into a field which was calm and quiet. Then, rising out of the silence, was a gentle babble of water. Oh, Baba, it's only a trickle, Amar protested. But as the snaking stream twisted between black boulders, cutting deeper and faster through the hillside, Amar's excitement mounted. And just round a bend, without any warning, the land dropped away. The water swirled and foamed and gushed and protested and then plunged, drifting down, 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 down into the silent green pool of the ravine. Father and son stood at the very edge, wind blowing their hair back and fanning the spray into a high, wild rainbow. There the whole ravine stretched before them, the white clouds beneath them. Slowly, without speaking even one word, Amar slipped his tiny hand into his father's warm hold. Right soon, Grandpa.
Perhaps one day you'll see a beautiful waterfall, like Amar did. Or, if you've got some space outside and it's fine weather, get someone to turn on a tap and have some fun, like Sarah, Emily and their friends. On a nice hot sunny day, there's nothing like a glass of cold water. Cheers!
Cheers. Cheers. Here's to water.
Here's to water.
It's cleaning itself like a dog. Yeah, it's like, because dogs clean it, then that's full of water, whole thing's mouth and then spit it.